Short story time on how my sleep paralysis demon is in love with me. Anytime I tell this story to somebody, people say it freaks them out. I'm chilling. Like, I've had sleep paralysis for a very long time, and I've been learning how to cope with it. But my most recent experience was very new, and it has never happened like this before. And yeah, let me explain. I know this is not like my usual content, but like, it's something to share because it was weird as fuck. So basically, I'm sleeping, and then my sleep paralysis is happening, and I'm sleeping on my side, so I'm not looking up. I don't see anything. I'm sleeping on my side, and out of nowhere, I feel like something's kissing my neck. Like, I feel the moisture, like something is kissing my neck, and then it's kissing my face. And before it gets to my lips, I was like, and it goes, and when it said, I felt the breath on my face, right? And I said, And then after that, it stopped. And of course, like, I'm freaking out. I'm trying to wake myself up. And obviously, I can't do anything. I'm having sleep paralysis. I cannot move. Long story short, I wake up crying because I literally thought somebody was in my bed. Me. That's how real it felt. And I was like freaking out. I was like, was somebody in my room? Who did it? Like, I don't know. So I think he's in love with me, y'all. At least somebody likes me. At least somebody wants me back.
This is a story about when I had sleep paralysis. It was about 5 years ago when this happened to me. I remember that it was around 2 a.m., right as I was about to go to sleep. I eventually fell asleep. I had still thought I was awake because I remember my clock saying 3:15 a.m., and my bed was right next to my door, and every time someone would open it, it would be loud. In my sleep, I could not move. That is when I noticed what was happening. My door opened fully, and what I saw was a clown just standing there. I had closed my eyes for whatever reason, and it felt like I could hear breathing in front of me, and it gave me the urge to open my eyes. I ended up doing just that, and what I saw was the clown painting my face. I thought I was going to die, when all of a sudden the clown headed into my closet. When I could finally move, I screamed for my mom to come into my room, and she stayed in the room with me until I fell asleep. In the morning, she thought I had just had a nightmare, and I said probably, not trying to scare my family. A couple of weeks went by, and I was home alone when I heard something say, "I painted your face," coming from my room. I did not feel like telling her, as she would probably say I heard something else. Many years later, it still gives me chills just thinking about it.
I experienced a sleep paralysis demon, so scary story time while I make slime. First ever sleep paralysis dream I had was when I was 14 years old. At least that's what I can remember. And when I tell you, it was absolutely scary. Get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. You already know. So that specific night, my cousins ended up going over their best friend's house, and I was left to sleep in my cousin's room all by myself. Now, one thing about my cousin's room, it was really, really dark when it got dark because there was no light in there. You had to either use a lamp or your phone flashlight. And at that time, I didn't even know where the lamp was or the phone flashlight. So I was like, no, like, I'm just going to sleep. Before I had went to sleep, I will always play beginner Bible stories on YouTube, and I literally went to sleep to that every single night. And the reason why I did was because I always felt like something was watching me for some reason. I could never explain it, but I felt like something was watching me. So this specific night, I lay down, I go to sleep like normal, and I want to say a good hour into me being asleep, I keep waking up out of my sleep for no reason. Like, I just have a feeling that someone is watching me, and I can't explain it. And keep in mind, I'm in the room by myself, and it's pitch black, okay? So at this point, I'm like, okay, like, I'm just gonna pray myself back to sleep. So that's what I did. I was like, the blood of Jesus. I was saying Hail Marys to go to sleep. Like, y'all, I prayed myself back to sleep. So after that, right, in my dream, I am stuck. And me and my neighbors were talking about this the other day. But bro, when you're experiencing sleep paralysis, it's like this, like, pressure that's holding you down that you can't freaking explain, and you feel it in your stomach. So before it even started, y'all, I felt the pressure in my stomach, and yes, my freaking shaving cream is activating my slime, but I felt the freaking pressure in my stomach before the sleep paralysis started. Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, literally in my dream, I'm like, this is weird, like, what's going on? And I remember somebody that I was talking to was like, you're not supposed to be aware. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they were telling me in my dream, me talking to them and like being consciously aware of what's happening is a bad thing. I'm like, okay, like this is weird. And then out of nowhere, everything stops and I get jolted into the room that I am sleeping in, right? And I'm like, okay, this is strange. And I'm literally stuck in place. I can't move. And so I'm crying. And when I finally do get to move, I'm in this position where I'm looking down at my phone like this. And I literally, like, I'm getting goosebumps. Something tells me to like turn my phone reflection to the back of me. And like, I literally am trying my best to even move my arm, y'all. I'm finally moved my arm, and there's like this big black thing in the corner of my my cousin's room, and it's just staring at me, and I can't do anything about it. Like, there's literally nothing I can do but sit here and take it. Like, I'm literally just like like, I'm trying my best, I'm breathing, I'm crying, and this, like, as I'm like turning the phone, it's like jumping from one corner to the next until it's like fully behind me. And when I tell you this thing is like 10 feet tall, y'all, like, it was huge. Keep in mind, I was like 14, and I know I did not imagine this, because when I woke up, I was in a cold sweat, and my room was just like, it had this like, not my room, but my cousin's room had this like weird ominous vibe to it, and I immediately just got up and went to sleep in the living room. I remember waking up and everyone was like, why aren't you in the room? And I was like, no reason on why I'm not in the room. No reason. I think I overactivated this line. Yeah, I think I should just let it rest. But yeah. Oops. Oh. Bye, guys.
Tiptoe by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe by the garden of the willow tree. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
I had sleep paralysis, and I had something whispered to me in another language. The whole internet has shared their sleep paralysis story, so I figured it's time for me to share mine. I'm just kidding. If you haven't had sleep paralysis, that's amazing. I hope that you never experience this, and to those of you that have dealt with it, let's be terrified together. I can't remember how old I was. I think I was a teenager when this happened, but I was taking a nap in the basement. I was sleeping on the couch, and I believe it was nighttime, and it really wasn't anything crazy. There wasn't really much to it. I was literally just taking a nap on the couch, and then you know how you find yourself in that middle ground where like you're about to fall asleep, but you're still kind of awake. I feel like that's where people find themselves to be in sleep paralysis, or maybe you were literally in the middle of a dream, but I kind of feel like it's when you're about to be in that deep part of sleep, but then something happens. So I guess I was in that something phase, and I woke up and I could not move, and I would like somebody to explain this to me. I need to know a scientific explanation to why you physically cannot move your body. Like, I haven't heard of a good reason as to why scientifically. I feel like there is something on top of us. Like, when they say that there are demons on top of you, like standing like on top of you, that's why you can't move, I 1000% believe it. I couldn't move anything. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't move my body. And I don't know, I personally have been blessed, and I mean, I don't want to cast bad luck on myself or jinx anything. I haven't seen anything, like particularly when it comes to sleep paralysis. I haven't seen anything. I think that I've always just been so scared. I think that when I'm in that sleep paralysis state, I feel like I know that there's something wrong, so I intentionally don't open up my eyes. But in this situation, I heard something, and it was so weird. I literally like kind of opened up my eyes, and then I closed them back up, and I couldn't move, and I was trying really hard to move, and then all of a sudden I start hearing a voice, and it sounded far away, but then it got closer to me. It was almost like there was something right here. I was close to be like this. And I can't explain what it was, but I knew it was something that was outer worldly, just whispering into my ear. It was a language I could not detect. And it just started getting louder and louder and louder and louder. Like, it sounded really far away, and then it sounded like it was directly in my ear. And it was like it was just something like that. And I know that doesn't seem scary, like, you know, as I'm like explaining it to you on here, but it was absolutely terrifying. Like, literally, it was kind of giving, like in Harry Potter, where they were like, like, you know, like what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be controversial, and I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but when I'm in these situations, the only thing that helps me break free of sleep paralysis is saying in my head, because I can't talk, it's saying in my head that I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the Lord. And that's what I did in that moment. I said to myself, I believe in you, dear God. I believe in you, dear God. I believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ has the power against you. That's what I said in my head, and I was able to break free. And it's just always so creepy. It is so creepy afterwards, like post freaking sleep paralysis. And I was able to get back to sleep. And whenever I find myself, because this is really common, I'll find myself feeling like I'm still awake, but I'm falling into that deep sleep, or I feel like I'm falling into sleep paralysis. I wake myself up. I force myself to wake up. I catch myself. And I don't know. I don't like that shit. So yeah, let me know your sleep paralysis story, because I had something whisper a foreign language in my ear. That is not normal.
This is what actually happens during sleep paralysis. First of all, you're actually still awake and you can hear and see things, but your body can't move because it's actually still asleep. Sleep paralysis only lasts about a couple of minutes, and in that time you can't move or speak. Some people have reported that they feel a heavy weight on their chest, like someone is sitting on them. Also, during sleep paralysis, you're more likely to have a nightmare, causing a lot of fear. And lastly, sleep paralysis usually occurs just as you're about to fall asleep or just as you're about to wake up.
उठी और मैंने अपनी प्रेयर्स वगैरह कर ली, तो मुझे उस दिन काफ़ी थकान हो रही थी और मैंने सोचा कि थोड़ी देर लेट जाती हूँ, और मैं अपने बेड पे जाके वापस लेट गई. ये टाइम था सुबह के 6 बजे का. वो इसलिए याद है क्योंकि मैंने सोचा बस 10 मिनट के बाद एक बार और उठ जाऊंगी. लेकिन जब मैं लेटी तो एकदम मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि एकदम नींद आ गई, जो अपने में बहुत अननेचुरल है, क्योंकि आप सुबह एक बार उठ चुके हो, अपना काफ़ी कर चुके हो थोड़ा बहुत काम, और उसके बाद आप सो रहे हो तो इंसान थोड़ा अवेक ही रहता है, बहुत एकदम नहीं सो जाता, गहरी नींद. लेकिन मुझे लगा कि जैसे किसी ने कोई दवाई पिलाई हो और एकदम मैं गहरी नींद में चली गई. उससे एक शाम पहले मेरे क्लाइंट्स हैं और स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं, उनकी कोई एंसेस्ट्रल प्रॉब्लम चल रही है स्पिरिट्स को लेके, और हम केस स्टडीज डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि कल इनका इलाज कैसे किया जाएगा. और मैंने उनको कहा था कि मैं कल आपको बताऊंगी कि मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ आपके लिए. तो जब मैं वो 6 बजे मेरे को ये स्लीप पैरालिसिस के लिए पहले नींद जो आई, उसमें मैंने देखा कि मैं इन दोनों बच्चों के पास जा रही हूँ, मतलब ये मेरे स्टूडेंट्स हैं. बिल्कुल. और मैं इनके घर जा रही हूँ. इनका घर झारखंड में है, लेकिन मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि मैं इनके घर बॉम्बे में जा रही हूँ. और जब मैं इनके घर गई तो मेरे को बिल्कुल एक अलग सा टिपिकल सा घर देखा. एक वॉल उसकी ग्रीन कलर की थी, उसके आगे एक बड़ी सी लकड़ी की अलमारी पड़ी थी, और उसके साइड पे एक छाता लटका हुआ था. और दूसरे कमरे में इन्होंने अपना ऑफिस बनाया हुआ था. और मैंने इनको बोला कि चलिए टीम के साथ कनेक्ट करते हैं, आप जूम मीटिंग ऑन करें, ये वो. तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि मैम आप थोड़ा घूम के आइए जब तक हम ये तैयारी करते हैं. जैसे ही मैं उनके घर के बाहर गई और थोड़ा ऐसे बिल्डिंग का चक्कर काटने गई, मेरे को लगा कि एक रेलिंग है वहाँ पे. और जनरली नीचे बहुत सुंदर था, तो हल्का सा इंसान रेलिंग पे थोड़ा लीन करता है. मैंने उस रेलिंग पे लीन किया और स्लो मोशन में, जैसे मूवी में दिखता है, मुझे लगा कि वो रेलिंग बिल्कुल मेरे सामने नीचे 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 गिर रही है. और मैं इतनी झुक चुकी थी कि पीछे मुड़ के जब मैंने देखा तो सपोर्ट के लिए, हाथ से पकड़ने के लिए कुछ था नहीं. तो मैंने अपने आप को स्लोली उसके ऊपर गिरते हुए देखा. और जब मैं ये सीन देख रही थी, तब मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि मैं एक सपना देख रही हूं. यहां पे मैं आपको ये बताना चाहती हूं कि स्लीप पैरालिसिस बिल्कुल किसी और दुनिया में, नींद में नहीं होता. ये एक पैरेलल यूनिवर्स है. मतलब आप इस दुनिया में भी हो, आप उस दुनिया में भी हो. मुझे वहां पे जब मैं वो रेलिंग के साथ गिर रही थी, मुझे रियलाइज हो रहा था कि अब मैं मरने वाली हूँ. और मुझे ये रियलाइज हो रहा था कि ये एक सपना है। तो किसी तरीके से फिर मैंने देखा कि किसी तरीके से किसी एनर्जी ने मुझे वापस खींचा और मैं बहुत ही मुश्किल से अपने पैरों पे खड़ी हुई। मैं वापस भाग के उस घर में चली गई जिस घर में ये लोग थे। वहां जाकर मैंने इनको बताया कि ऐसा हुआ, रेलिंग गिर गई। उन्होंने कहा मैम बिल्डिंग तो बिल्कुल न्यू है, कैसे ऐसा हो गया? चलिए कोई बात नहीं, अब आप हमारे साथ ही रहिए। और मैंने कहा कि ठीक है, मैं फ्रेश होके आती हूँ। तो नहाने के लिए मैंने अपने कपड़े निकाले और उन्होंने मुझे दिखाया कि इस बाथरूम में आप जा सकती हैं, ये आपका कमरा है। और मैं आप तब तक ये खीरा खा लीजिए, क्यूकम्बर हमने सैलेड कट किया है।
Can we show him the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
I want every single person watching this to imagine somebody physically being in your house, not being able to move, open your eyes, or scream. Last night I got home around 10 p.m. I was supposed to leave out within the next 10 minutes. You know, my door was unlocked. It wasn't open, but it was unlocked. I live in a double house, so there's 2 doors to get in my house. Here's what happened. I fall asleep at 10:25 out of nowhere. I sat down, my eyes just shut, I passed out. I fell into a deep sleep paralysis. If you don't know what that is, that's where your mind is fully aware, but your body is frozen. You cannot move, speak, anything. In this dream, I saw blank white. All I heard was gunshots, maybe around 30 of them. Just loud, bang, 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 bang. And then the white goes away. All of a sudden, a big truck is coming and crashing into my house, and I'm standing up. And right before it was about to hit me, the dream stopped. I'm still trapped in this sleep, mind you. I hear my back door open, which is the way I enter my home. I hear the back door open. They shut it behind them. I hear the door to get in my house open, and they shut it behind them. I hear them walking into my living room, and I hear my curtain open because I have a curtain from my kitchen to my living room. I was sleeping in my living room. I hear the curtain open. I hear footsteps walking towards me. I was sleeping on a pull-out couch. And then they stop once it gets to me. My body had the chills. I had goosebumps throughout my whole body. Then they start walking again. They walk out of my living room. They go back through my kitchen. And they go back out of the door. They shut the door behind them. And then they shut the outside door behind them. Now, I have 2 Ring cameras. I have one in my living room window that points to my front door. And I normally would have a Ring doorbell camera at my back door. But unfortunately and coincidentally, it was dead. And I had it charging under my bed. So when I woke up from this dream, the first thing I did was call my grandma because she lives upstairs from me. And I'm like, are you at work or are you at home? She was at work. Nobody was here. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going crazy. So I got up. I just immediately locked my doors. I went on my phone and I pulled up my Ring camera footage to see if I hear anything. And what do you know? There was a man in my house. Now, y'all can call me stupid, whatever it is, all you want. Yes, I left my door unlocked. It was an accident. I don't normally do stuff like that. And it happened. I was sleeping in my living room because my bed frame isn't together in my room yet. You can see my indent in the bed of where I was sleeping, and you could see them walking around. I'm somebody that does not wear shoes in my house. There is no way that this wasn't just... This is a stranger. Nobody knows where I live but my family. I'm gonna put the video in this clip, this next clip, and you just... I think I can zoom in, but hold on. This was exactly at 10:39. I was asleep for not even 10 minutes. I'm gonna upload a couple more clips of when they first walked in, and in the second clip you're gonna see a reflection of them opening the curtain to get in my living room. Right here, it's coming up. Look at the top. Walk past the curtains. I immediately woke up. I called my grandma. She's at work. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm calling my family. I went and stayed at my aunt's house, and I went to the station to file a report. And honestly, what makes me even more nervous is that they didn't come through my front. They did not come through my driveway, the sidewalk, nothing, because I have that camera in the front. You can see the sidewalk. You can see the driveway. Nobody went back there, so they hopped a fence in my backyard. My whole backyard is surrounded by wood fences, and on another side, there's a regular fence that's short. So they had to have just been going through people's backyards, just testing doors, walked in. My purse was in plain sight. If he wanted to rob me, he would have went in my purse. He would have took something. But no, he just walked in the fucking house, stood over me, and walked out. Either he's watching me, and I'm lucky that I was asleep, because I could have been done for. I don't know. It's like something bigger than me was protecting me yesterday. The fact that I was in a sleep paralysis, I could not move, I couldn't react. My body was protecting me. And nothing like this has ever happened. I've had sleep paralysis maybe 2 other times before this, but I was asleep for 10 minutes. And I remember trying to say, "Who is it?" It would not come out. I woke up, could not fucking breathe. If you've had this, you know what I'm talking about, but to people who don't know what sleep paralysis is, if you're just gonna come for me and say I was dreaming, just go look it up, search it on TikTok, you'll see it, you'll find it, whatever. But moving forward, my door will not be unlocked even if I'm running in the house to grab something. It's locking behind me. Like, trust me, I learned from this, and it's a big thing. I'm now gonna take a CCW class. I'm getting my own, like, I'm 21 years old and I live basically by myself. That is scary as a girl. Like, I don't know. I'm just glad that nothing happened to me, and I really hope they don't come back. My Ring camera's back up. God bless.
So I had a near-death experience having sleep paralysis. Let me just back up and explain to y'all what I mean by that. One day, my sister was at my house, and we were on the couch watching One Tree Hill because I was forcing her to watch it. And we both ended up taking a nap. So I guess she ended up waking up from her nap, and I was still napping. But I was having like this type of dream where I heard her upstairs talking on the phone. But it was like, have y'all ever been asleep but woke at the same time? Where it's just like, whatever you're hearing in real life, you can hear it in your dream, and now you're dreaming about it. Well, that's how it was. So I heard her on the phone upstairs, and she was really talking to our dad, but in like the way I heard it in my dream, she was on the phone, she was talking to my sister, and I guess that registered in my brain because I heard them say my sister's name. So I guess that's why I ended up dreaming that she was on the phone with my sister, but the whole time she was upstairs on the phone with my dad. Trace of that, I'm having a dream about her being on the phone, and I'm laying down on the couch, and then all of a sudden I start to choke. I start choking. It's like I had to cough, but I couldn't. So I couldn't cough in my dream, and that's when it woke me up, because I started choking in my dream. I was choking in real life, really. So I woke up, and I was stuck because I was having sleep paralysis. Well, if you don't know about sleep paralysis, when you have sleep paralysis, it's like you wake up and your body is still asleep. The only thing that you can do is you can move your eyes. You cannot move nothing else. Your body is just stuck, and you can just look around like this, and that's about it. Like, you can't even like speak. Since you can't move, you can't do all these things, you can't speak, I couldn't cough. So I was laying there choking with water pouring down my eyes and I couldn't move. And then I started to panic because I was like, what the freak? And I couldn't call for my sister to help me because she was upstairs. And I just didn't know what to do. But normally when I have sleep paralysis, I wiggle my toes. Once I get my toes to move, then I kind of like break out of the sleep paralysis or something. So I started to wiggle my toes and I got up, and the moment I was able to move, I was just like, I was dying. And I was just chugging the little water I had beside me. I was dying. So then as soon as I get out of the sleep paralysis, my sister come downstairs and I tell her, I'm like, bro, I just almost died. I just almost choked while having sleep paralysis. That was just like a weird moment for me. I don't know if anybody ever went through that before, but usually sleep paralysis ain't scary to me, but in that moment, I was choking. So it was scary in that moment. I thought I was going to die not being able to move. And I was thinking, is that how people die in their sleep or something? I don't know. It was weird.
Have you ever wondered what it feels like to get paralyzed? Well, this mind-blowing experiment will make you feel exactly how being paralyzed feels like. Step 1. Place your hand on a flat surface. Now tuck in all your fingers except your ring finger. Now what you're gonna have to do is try to lift your ring finger.
Bro, that is actually trippy.
You're probably noticing that you can't actually lift it. This is because your ring and pinky finger share the same tendon. And when you tuck in all your fingers, the tendons of the ring finger are constrained, making it hard to...
What the fuck was that? Bro!
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen.
Did the window
Sean.
break?
Y'all know what sleep paralysis is, right? Well, let me tell you about the time I was sexually assaulted by a dark entity in the shadow world while experiencing sleep paralysis. Disclaimer, this is not to say that I know what it's like to experience physical sexual assault. I don't, and my heart goes out to anyone who does. I'm so sorry. So, when I was in high school, I went through a many month-long spell of falling into sleep paralysis every other night, or more. One time I woke up at around 4 a.m., and when the sun came out, I decided to go take a hike. When I got back, I was still tired, so I decided to lay down. Before I knew it, I was in sleep paralysis. I couldn't move my body. There was always this hooded figure sitting at the corner of the room, but this time my boyfriend at the time was there. So he approached me and proceeded to begin intercourse with me. Then suddenly he rips off his face as if it were a mask, and all I see is this void of darkness and evil. And whatever it was continued to force the assault. I could not move.
Have you ever wondered why humans get sleep paralysis? And why we see terrifying things? Well, when you dream, your brain shuts down muscle control, which paralyzes your body to prevent you from acting out your dreams. But if something wakes you up during this temporary paralysis, your body will stay frozen while your mind becomes partially aware. And the mix of fear and being half asleep can trigger stress-induced hallucinations, like blending a nightmare